So I'm back with another video, and this one will be the full coverage video, and I will show you guys how to do it like step by step. It might be really long, I don't know yet. I was gonna do this video later on in the week, but it is really hot and I can't even leave the house. Like, I just left for like probably like 30 minutes and it was so hot I can't leave again. So I'm like, what can I do? And I was like, I'm supposed to do like that video sometime, and I know later on in the week I'll be busy, so might as well do it now. So I'm gonna start off by applying the moisturizer, because you can actually put it on underneath. And so yeah, I'll do that, and I'm also gonna put on the rapid tone corrector as well. And then yeah, so I just put some on, and I really like to have like moisturizer underneath my makeup, because one, it just allows the makeup to not really get into my pores. There's something blocking and separating the makeup from my pores, other than the primer that I will be applying. And it also it has sunscreen in it, and it just helps moisturize my face, and it's really good to like put on constantly so my face isn't producing a lot of oils, especially underneath all that makeup. I don't want oily skin. Now I'm just applying the tone repair. Now, I read the instructions for this and it kind of scares me. So it says that it's supposed to tingle and hurt a bit. So that's just what it's supposed to do. I'm not entirely sure if it will actually work, and if all this kind of weird tingling sensation under my eyes, will it be worth it? I don't know. I'll figure out in a couple of days, because it would have been a week. Alright, so I just put on the moisturizer and the tone repair, and I'm going to put on my primer, and I got this from Lush. It was like $20, I think, and I've had it for a while. I don't do a lot of, that's alarming. So it's liquid right now, probably because it's so hot in here. Usually it's a bit more solid than that, which is kind of scary. I'm worried about my other makeup now, because it is really hot in my room and it's just horrible. But it usually is not this consistency. It's usually really good, but it's a really nice primer. It still works. It smells really nice. I do love the smell of this. Usually I don't need to like get more than a little bit, but because it's just liquid right now, it's pretty bad. But yeah, I decided to do this because it's just way too hot to do anything else and to like leave my room, and I have this fan going. It's way too hot. It's on the lowest setting right now because it was just way too loud to make this video, so I'm dying of heat right now, but once I'm done I'll just turn it back up. And then now I'm gonna go and put on my concealer, and so this is kind of like getting rid of the dark circles and hiding it with makeup. There's several ways that you could do it. You could like put the dots underneath it, which I think is a sort of effective way. But I like to kind of put it on like this, and kind of like triangle shape, because that's your eye socket. It goes in that kind of direction, I guess I could say, because cheekbone is like about here, and then it's just, this is like the skin and like the eye socket. So it's kind of nice to have liquid foundation and liquid concealer, which I like. But if you have really bad bags, it might also be good to get like a stick concealer. I really like those for just adding like the extra layer, because it's a little bit thicker than the liquid. And then I just take the beauty blender. I got this at the dollar store for $1.25, and of course there's like packs of like 3 or 4 for like $3, I think, at the dollar store. So I mean, you don't have to like go out and spend like $15 on them from like the drugstore or something. Like, I always thought that the prices of these are just way too much. And obviously you always want to keep your makeup brushes and your beauty blenders clean. So if you are going to be constantly applying makeup, or just wearing makeup in general, just clean all of your brushes after each use. It really helps keep everything clean, and it's just a good habit to get into, because you do not want to be applying like dirty makeup or just sweat and oil onto like some other makeup. So I always like to clean all of my stuff afterwards. Alright, so now that I'm done that, you could see, because it's a bit oily, but it's not as bad. And I always like to make sure that like the inner corner is also done, so I'm just gonna look in the mirror. I think that's pretty good for right now. And then I also like to go and kind of shape my eyebrows before I actually do them with some concealer, so I just kind of put it like that, a little bit on my forehead, because obviously there's a lot of redness, and you could get the color palette things. They're like concealer but in different colors. It's like the green, the purple, and the yellow, and those are really good. I love those so much. The cream ones work a lot better than the powder in my opinion, but I just don't have a lot of money to buy a whole bunch of beauty products at one time, so I just bought some new ones, so I won't be able to try those ones out for a while. But I do have the powder ones, and I'm not really that happy with them. They're not as good as people think they might be. The powder is not, it just doesn't work very well. It's kind of stressful to figure out, but yeah. So to shape my eyebrows with the concealer, I just kind of take the edge of this beauty blender and I just kind of shape it out a bit. And that way I kind of have more clear lines to go by when I go in with the eyebrow gel and everything. And then obviously I did my forehead a bit, so now I will go. And you can apply your concealer before you put on your foundation, but it's also recommended that you put it on after. So if you don't put it on before, that's fine, because you just put it on after as well. I like to put it on before, just so I could kind of figure out where I actually need to put the foundation. But that's just what I like to do. A lot of people prefer to put on the concealer after they do the foundation, and it's just kind of what you think works best. So now I'm just going to kind of get all of these things. I don't feel like putting little dots all over my face, you know. Kind of pointless. Like if you have like a couple, you know, if you have like some acne here and like just a little bit there, like it's fine to like do dots, but if you have it all over your face, it's just time consuming and it's just kind of pointless. So obviously you want to kind of bring it down, and I obviously have some acne kind of like on my chin and underneath on my neck, and so I like to kind of bring it down, and I like to kind of like move it around a bit to kind of get more coverage with my concealer. And then doing that also helps whatever foundation I use to be more full coverage and just allow it to work a lot better. And yeah, so far I'm not as red as I was, which is always good. Sometimes I just kind of stop here and I put on the powder and I call it a day, but I am trying to see just how well this new foundation will be for me. So it's the Burts one. I got it for $20 at Save On the other day. In my other video I didn't do a full coverage because I wanted to see if I didn't put any primer or anything on my face before, just how much would it cover. And I thought that it was pretty good. So now that I put on more concealer on my face than before, and I put on my you know, like layers of my moisturizer and then my primer, I want to see just how well it works. So obviously I did get the lightest shade because I am really pale, and I'm really surprised at just how well it actually fits my skin tone. So I think that if you are looking for a better way to get like your skin tone, because I have the one that I have back there, it's the lightest shade that I could find from that company, but it was still way too dark and it made me look kind of yellow. So I'm kind of sad because I barely used it and there's just a lot of it, but it's not my skin tone. So I think that if you're really pale, it'd be a good investment just to get this, because I mean it does work really well. So this is the porcelain one. I will have all of the makeup stuff that I use, as well as the shades and the colors and the companies, down below. So yeah. So I just kind of like to put on my face a bit, you know. No one can tell you that that's too much, you know. No one's gonna stop you. Oh, well, let me just drop some makeup. It's a fun mess to clean up afterwards. So obviously it's pretty pale, and I just like to blend it around a bit, bring it down. And you always kind of like one thing that people like kind of miss that always kind of irritates me is like around their ear or just like by their ear and kind of like up into the hairline. Like for some reason people just kind of like stop about here, and it's like, what are you doing? Like if you put your hair down it's not noticeable, but the second you put it up, like you just, it's so visible. So it's kind of like one of my pet peeves is when people just apply makeup but then they just stop applying the makeup and it just looks really weird. And obviously right now it looks like I don't know what I'm doing because it's just kind of all over the place, but you really gotta kind of trust the process, and obviously at first you will look really weird. But yeah, no, I really do like this foundation. It's pretty light actually, like I'm not sweating right now when I put this on, which is very good for today's weather. So I'm just overall pleased with this foundation, and I think that it does work very well, and I think that it was worth $20. I mean, I've seen foundations that people try to, you know, like sell off for more, like going to Sephora, and it's like, wow, that is a lot of money. But I also think that drugstore makeup also kind of rips people off. I mean, I went into Sephora and there was like this black liquid lipstick that I really liked for $15, and it was a matte. And then I went to the drugstore, like just around the corner in the mall, and for $15 there was like a similar liquid lipstick, except it wasn't matte, and I didn't really know that, but I was like, okay, well it's just a bit cheaper to get it at the drugstore, so I got it at the drugstore, and it turned out to not be matte lipstick. I was like, oh, that's nice. I still have it. It's in my little makeup area behind me. But sometimes I do think that it might just be better to go to the more expensive stores and just price check everything and make sure that it's exactly what you want. Because sometimes the drugstore makeup is not good at all. And I find that a lot. Because I do not have a lot of money to go to Sephora and spend like $500 on like 2 eyeshadow palettes and a little bit of concealer. Like, it's just insane, the pricing there. So, but I do feel like I do go into Sephora, and I do sometimes buy like liquid lipsticks and matte lipsticks from there. But obviously you don't always just want to stick with the drugstore brand stuff because it might not be as good. And sometimes the prices are actually the same, like with like the liquid lipsticks, $15 at a drugstore or $15 from Sephora. It just, I think that the thing that scares people the most is that Sephora is really expensive. And so when you see like a $15 lipstick there, you're like, oh, that's a bit much. But then when you go to like a drugstore and you're like, oh, $15 for some lipstick? That's like the same price as the foundation there. But I think that it'd just be better to price check out all of the makeup first and just make sure that you are getting your money's worth. Because there are some ridiculous prices, and I just hate how much they charge for like the most basic things, you know? Alright, so now I am just gonna go and just grabbing my little brush. I forgot it when I was grabbing all my makeup. And I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. And so the way I do eyebrows is, obviously I have like pretty thick eyebrows. I don't really need to do a whole lot, but they are at the top. I just usually fill it in a bit at the top, and it makes them look fuller and like they were carved out, you know, to get like that nice little look. So I do that, and I just go underneath first, and I just go up like that. And it's just such a subtle difference, but it makes a lot of difference. Like, it's like the smallest things that you could do. Like, if you're not going to wear makeup that day, but you want to do something to change it up, just your eyebrows. Like, that's all you really need to do, is just make your eyebrows like subtly thicker, or even thinner, I guess, if you want to kind of cut them a bit. But just changing like the shape of your eyebrow really changes the shape of your face in a lot of ways. It can really just make or break a look, I guess. Like, if you do everything right and then you just mess up in your eyebrows, it's just not gonna be good. At the same time, if you put on like a full face of makeup and then you do nothing with your eyebrows, it just doesn't look completed, which is why I kind of just do a little bit here and there. Just filling in the tops a little bit, making a clear line. And obviously I'm kind of using that line that I made with my beauty blender, because the line's right there. And it just looks like I spent longer on my makeup look, and usually when I'm not talking or I'm not busy, it takes me about like less than 10 minutes to do a whole face of makeup. And it's just really simple to do some of this stuff, and it just takes practice, because I know I had really trashy makeup a few years ago. It was like, even last year, it was just actual garbage. And it wasn't until, oh, well, I just screwed up there talking. And it wasn't until like a few months ago that I just really noticed how much I had improved in my makeup skills. If anyone follows me on one of my Instagram accounts, I actually have a post showing my makeup throughout the years, and it's absolutely amazing how I look so gross with so much makeup, and then I can literally just take it off and look fine, and how I was like, oh wow, makeup makes me look so much better, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Don't do it. And that's another thing, is like, people just need to be confident without makeup on. Like, I go days without wearing makeup, and I'm fine with that. But there was a time where I couldn't even like function without doing like eyeshadow. Like, I was obsessed with like this red eyeshadow and like this thick bold eyeliner, and it got to the point where I felt so gross if I didn't do that, that I refused to leave the house until I did like this bold eyeliner. Like, that was, I think I was like 15 when I was doing that, and it was a whole mess. Yeah, it was like my 15th birthday. I have like a bunch of photos with me and my friends. I shaved all my hair off, I dyed it red, I had red eyeshadow and this thick bold line across my eye, and it was so bad. But yeah, no, if you just like hate how you do makeup, just keep practicing, because you will get better. And that is the nice thing about continuously doing it, because if I had just given up like last year on makeup, all my photos with makeup would just be trash. But now they're not that bad. Like, now I can like look at myself with and without makeup and go, yeah, that's fine. So I think like if you want to wear a whole bunch of makeup, you just gotta figure out how to be confident, and then you could wear it and look good and feel good with and without it. And that's kind of like a huge thing that people oftentimes miss, is they think that makeup is the only thing that can make them beautiful or make them feel good. And it just, if you look good, and if you feel like you look good before you put on makeup, and you put on makeup and you feel good again, like, you're just gonna feel good no matter what. So I think that the big thing before you like go out and buy all this like high quality makeup and try and figure out how to look good with makeup, you should just try and figure out how to look good without it. So that way when you put it on, you just feel the same, but maybe just a little bit better about yourself. Because I know like when I put on makeup, I feel so much better when I just have everything looking nice and like I tried. At the same time, I don't mind wandering around without makeup on. Like, that is perfectly fine with me. I was out all day without makeup on until just now. So I mean, like 9 a.m. I was at Superstore. I came home and then I left and I went to Co-op to get like some fruit and cream cheese and a drink. So I mean, I was out pretty much all day without makeup on, and I think that just learning how to be confident about yourself is really the key to figuring out like what makeup looks best and like for you, and like figuring out what is just good in terms of applying makeup and just making yourself look nice. So I find oftentimes it's better to start off with more natural looks than dramatic looks, because I did all of the dramatic stuff and it was not working because I didn't even know how to do natural makeup. And if you don't even like know how to like apply just foundation, a little bit of eyeliner and eyeshadow, and like just natural smoky eye, then you can't do something intense and bold, like a blue eyeshadow, blue eyeliner with like jewels and stuff. Like, if you can't do like the simple things, why are you trying to do like the more intense things? So I think that it's best if everyone just kind of like learns how to apply makeup before they go out and attempt to do looks, because makeup is not easy. Like, I still mess up. Like, the other day I put on way too much of my makeup, then I had to take it off because I just kind of put it on my face and I didn't realize that it was too much. It just looked so cakey, and I was like, no, I need to take it all off and restart. So I think that it's just better if you just slowly immerse yourself in makeup and just get used to applying it in small amounts, and then over time just learning how to apply it in a nice clean way. But yeah, so far I've just done the primer, the concealer, the foundation, I did my eyebrows, and I just applied this, which I actually need to get more of, but I really recommend this. It's a pressed powder. I obviously use it a lot, and I think that it's pretty good. I mean, it definitely made me look less oily, although I think I might have to do a little bit more, but yeah, that's a lot better. So, but yeah, I just think that it's best if people just learn how to apply makeup and do things before they go out and try to do more difficult things. I've been in cosmetology. This will be like my 4th year. I'm taking a 10-credit course for my grade 12 year. And I think that it's one of like the harder things to do. I mean, I'm in advanced art and I take cosmetology and everything, so I just understand that you have to really learn how to do it correctly in order to feel good about it. So if you don't really know what you're doing and you're just applying it, you might not feel as good as if you learned how to do it and really tried at it and continuously practiced. Because if you just go out, one of like the biggest examples of this is watercolor paint. So my art teacher, she talked about how she used to work at an art store when she was like a teenager going into college, and everyone would go out and they would buy watercolor paint because they thought that it was so easy. But it's actually one of the harder things to work with. And then they just gave up on it because it was too hard for them, and then they never came back, and then they just threw out the paint. So basically what I'm trying to say in a long explanation of it is just learn how to do it and just practice and keep working at it and do the simple stuff first, and then later on get into the more advanced stuff. You'll feel so much better about it. You will see the progress, and I can honestly say, like, maybe I will figure out how to put like videos, like in my videos, like put pictures in my videos showing my makeup before and after, because it was the worst. And I feel like after this whole year of me just figuring out what I was doing wrong and just learning how to do it, I really kind of in a way expanded my knowledge, where I just, before I would put on makeup, I would just take care of myself first. So obviously, like, I put on the moisturizer first, and I just make sure that everything in my skin is fine, and I make sure that I'm doing healthy things for my skin before I apply makeup. And I think that if you feel good without makeup on, you're going to also feel good when you have makeup on. So that is my idea of why I think people should learn how to apply makeup and just get used to it, and then slowly over time get used to the techniques and get used to applying it to the point where they can do it in a short amount of time and do it so nicely and so clean and just get everything to be perfect in a way. So now I'm gonna put on some highlighter because you know you gotta be poppin', you know, gotta like blind people with your highlighter. So I got it from Lush. It's the Feeling Younger, that's what it's called, and I love it. Like, it's just so good. So to apply it, I just take like this top part of my beauty blender and I kind of just dip it in a bit, and I kind of put it on in an L shape. And sometimes I like to smile when I'm putting on so I could see just like the highest point of the cheekbone, because that's what you want to do. You want to make your cheekbones look higher. So I just kind of put it on kind of around here, and then I just, in like this L shape, and it kind of just highlights the things that I want it to highlight. And I do the same on the other side, and it looks more natural. If you can just apply makeup without applying a lot, because sometimes like the smallest amounts are really what makes the difference. And then obviously a lot of people like to do like that, like a little bit on the nose, so I tend to do that. I don't know, it just looks kind of cute if you do it right. And then obviously I like to put some kind of right here to kind of highlight the brow bone right there. And it just, if you want to like look good in photos and stuff, the best thing you could do is, like, if you don't want to wear makeup but you still want to look good in photos, definitely just do, like what I do is apply some highlight, and it makes your face look more three-dimensional and not as flat in photos. And obviously I use this one a lot. I'll have pretty much in all my videos, I think I have this listed off. It's the Oh Sugar one. It is vitamin infused lip balm, and it smells amazing, it looks amazing, and it's more natural. So I think that if you want to go for like a more natural, almost no makeup look, but still want to look good and look like you're trying, a little bit of highlight and some colored lip balm really do go a long way. And that's especially if you just don't feel like applying a full face of makeup. Like, just like the smallest amounts can really make a difference. And then you also see a lot of people putting some kind of on their top lip part, you know, right where that line is. And I also see that people mess up when they're like lip lining, like when they put on the lip liner. There's actually this kind of invisible line here, and when they actually underline their lips, because you're actually supposed to put like the lip liner on that little invisible line, and then you put the lipstick on. And if you do that, your lips will look fuller, and you just won't underline them and won't make them look smaller. And then I also put on just a little bit in like the corner of my eye right here. I'm going to look in the mirror to do this. Basically what I'm going to do is take this like little amount right here and put it right here by my tear duct. And I'm just going to do that now on both sides just really quickly. So I just kind of put it on both sides, and then I just kind of, not like rub it in, but I kind of like dab it on there, you know. It just makes your eyes look a little bit bigger. Obviously, it just kind of brings out your eyes a bit more. I have dark eyes, like they look black, so I like to have kind of something that makes my eyes pop a bit more, and putting a little bit of highlight there really does that. So yeah, you can see that it's kind of shiny, but that's just the highlight. And obviously, like, it just looks more natural right now. But I will be applying eyeshadow, and I'm going to be attempting a smoky eye, you know, as I do. I don't do them a lot because there's just a lot of steps involved, and I like to not really talk a lot while I'm doing my eye makeup. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it so everyone knows how to do it kind of more correctly, I guess, or in like a easier way, because when I was doing eyeshadow, I just kind of put it on there and put some eyeliner on, and it was a mess. And then I also didn't know how to do smoky eyes, and it made me look like I had like a bruised eye, and it was really bad. So yeah, so I'm also going to do that. But right now I'm just going to put on the lip balm because it's really nice. So obviously I use it a lot. It's a really nice color. It's like a natural color, and if you want it to be like not as pigmented, I guess, you can like put like the toilet paper, you know, like the little napkin toilet paper thing, you know, just to kind of get rid of the color a bit. Kind of smells like, you know, like those lip balms that were like pop flavored. This one reminds me of like the Coca-Cola one. This is kind of what it smells like. It's really nice though. It's a nice color, and it is a really nice lip balm. It says that it has like vitamins that are infused with it, so obviously it's not like the worst thing for your lips. Although, I mean, if you want to do a more natural look, maybe just go for normal lip balm, or even just like lip chap or something. If you want to do that though, like get like the tinted ones. I have one and it's slightly tinted, and I find that that one is really good. Just because it kind of brings like a little bit of color, but not too much, and it looks a lot more natural than this because it's obviously a bit brighter. But I do love the color of this. It's just, it's bright, but it's not too bright, and so I do enjoy it. And throughout the day, it does get kind of, I guess, diluted and like less pigmented, and it kind of looks more like a matte lipstick, but it's really nice and it smells amazing. I apply it every day just because I love the smell of it. So I've kind of been neglecting my other lipsticks. So if you do buy it, or anything other, like any other colors from the Oh Sugar lineup because there's multiple different ones. This was just the one that was on sale. You just might be addicted to the smell, you know, and so I feel like I might go out buy some more of that brand and see what the other ones smell like and see the other colors and see how I like those. But yeah, now I gotta find my eyeshadow because I literally just, I could show you guys my little area for doing makeup. So it's a little bit messy right now because again, like, I've just been pulling stuff out and grabbing it. But to get to my other little makeup area where I have all my other makeup, I just pull this out. So that's what I'm doing now, is just trying to find it. Alright, so it wasn't too hard to find them. They're just kind of sitting at the back there. And then I just need to find my brush, which might be a little bit harder because I'm not wearing my glasses. I am blind as a bat without them. Okay, I think that's the one. Yep. So, and again, like, if you want to do makeup all the time or even just a little bit, I have this. I don't know where my mom got it, although I do know that it probably wasn't a lot. And it's just has like this at the back. You kind of put it in the sink and you get like some cleanser or something for your makeup brushes, and you just clean them, and it just makes sure that they're clean for the next time you use them. And I mean, I wash my brushes like every day. Like, it's kind of something that I do either when I know that they're getting dirty or just out of sheer boredom. I'm like, you know what I want to do? Clean my makeup brushes, so I'm not like left with this because I have tried to use like dirty makeup brushes in the past, and like if there's something on it, I might just randomly get like a black line on my eyelid when I'm trying to get like a blue or something, or even just like a gold. So this one was $5 at Claire's, and I only got it because I love this gold color in the middle. It's just so nice. So then there's this palette, which actually was at the dollar store, and I think that starting off with neutral colors when you're doing a smoky eye is like the best. It's like the best thing that you could do because it's not some crazy color. It probably won't make you look like you have a bruised eye, because I know I tried like doing red eyeshadow, purple eyeshadow, and blue eyeshadow, and I just looked like I got a black eye. Like, it looked like someone beat me pretty bad. So that's why when people are starting off with makeup, I usually like recommend them starting off with a light palette. And I usually like to start off with the lightest shade, and I kind of just put it on my eyelid as kind of like a base to kind of tone down the foundation and the concealer that I put on. And the foundation and the concealer helps it stick a bit longer, as well as the primer. And you can go out and buy primer specifically for your eyelids, although I just don't have as much money as I would